everybody. It's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and I'm here with nobody.
Excuse me.
Hi.
You are here with Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County.
I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. So what are we here doing today?
We are doing what we do every week, which is reviewing Who is the Butthole?
Okay, so who's the butthole?
I don't know.
So the first one is for telling all of my friends and family why my vacation home is off limits now unless they rent it.
Another vacation home one.
Yeah. Okay, I rent out my house through a service that includes insurance when it's in use. Is it Airbnb?
Maybe. I don't know how Airbnb works.
I heard they're very good.
Uh-huh.
So the insurance does not cover when I lend my house out to friends and family since they are not paying. I have regular homeowner's insurance for that. My brother was using my house with his family just after New Year's. It's a slow time and I wasn't going to lose out on much income. My nephew stayed up late one night and didn't go out for breakfast with his family, so he decided to make himself some food. He started a kitchen fire, and he freaked out and called 911. Instead of using a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, he is 14, so I can't blame him too much. The smoke damage will cost about $8,700 to fix. I told my brother he could take his time paying me back. He said he wasn't going to pay back for an innocent mistake. I needed the house in order, so I just fixed everything. I didn't go through insurance since I don't want my rates going up. I was obviously upset, so I posted about the fire and how peeved I was at my brother. Pretty much all my friends and family took the side of the innocent angel, and they said it was unfair of me to expect that much money from him, and he could have rented a hotel for a quarter of the price. So I agreed. I said that from now on my house was off limits unless they rent it or I was there and they came as my guests. Since I only use the house with my family, that means they can rent it all or use the empty bedroom. It has a twin bed and a crib. Now the howling started, and that I'm being unfair to them for something that wasn't their fault, and I offered to take up a collection from them to cover the repairs or the increased insurance premiums, and most of them shut up. I directed them all to my brother. He got quite angry at me for blaming him for the situation. I said I wasn't about to send a mob after my nephew. I bought the house after I got a settlement from a worksite incident. I used the income to supplement the difference in what I used to earn at my old job and what I do now. So I guess my question is, am I the a-hole for telling everyone who has a problem with me charging rent or stuffing a family into a room meant for two small children to talk my brother about it? What do you think?
Okay, so this person has a vacation home that the family uses.
Yeah.
But the insurance that they have on that vacation home doesn't cover accidents like this?
She says she uses homeowner's insurance for that, but she just chose not to go through insurance because she didn't want the rates to go up.
Okay.
And just decided to go out of pocket.
Okay.
Or at least tell her brother to pay her back. Or reimburse her for it.
It sounds perfectly reasonable to ask for reimbursement when, your kid damages their home.
So you say not the butthole?
I don't know. Maybe could have gone about it in a nicer way. But...
What do you think about her decision, or this person's decision, to straight up just say, that's it, nobody gets the house anymore?
I mean, it's their house!
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
I mean, yeah, it does come across to me as like a teacher blaming the entire class for one person's actions.
Yeah, sure.
But you're right, it is this person's house. It is OP's house, and OP can do whatever they want with it, and which is include rented out only, or stuff like have them use one room when they're there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep on using she/her pronouns, yeah, I don't think, probably not the butthole. I mean, it's not. I mean, the nephew didn't do it on purpose.
It's not too terrible. Yeah, you didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't do it on purpose.
I mean, it's not like she's making him. She's not like she's making the nephew try to pay. She's trying to get the brother to pay.
I don't know. Like
Or
when I think about
Who
it,
is this? Is this a male or a female?
I don't know. They never say.
Whatever.
But like, that kind of makes me feel a little bad for the nephew because now the nephew is like, if I didn't start that fire, we would be living in easy street. But,
maybe.
and also, since there was a fire extinguisher there. I mean, he was also 14, and usually in the heat of the moment when there's like
you're scared.
Fire coming out of you,
you're scared.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Especially
at
14.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Your reason isn't there 100%.
And I don't even know if he even knew where the fire extinguisher was.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Usually, isn't like you're supposed to have it like visible, like out in the open for everyone to see? Isn't that like a thing you have to be?
I have no idea.
I
don't know what the layout.
Fire code.
I don't know what the layout of this house is.
So, what do you think? Butthole or not the butthole?
I'm gonna go with not the butthole.
Okay. Not the butthole. See what the people of Reddit have to say. Nata, your brother deserves to be the one dealing with the flack. If I were him, I would have at least offered to pay the increased insurance premiums, or that amount monthly until the repairs were paid off. Of you didn't go through insurance. I think you meant to say if you didn't go through insurance. He is the one who wrecked it for everyone, and anyone who took his side, I would not trust in my house. Okay, let's see what else we got. Nata, they aren't on the hook for something that wasn't their fault, but you are? Question mark. They are mad their free cookies got taken away and are being upset about having to pay for cookies instead of being grateful for the free ones they got. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay.
What do you want me to say to that?
Nata, if the kid can't be blamed for starting a fire, the dad, has to be blamed for leaving the kid unsupervised. Yeah, it says them, the dad. Because obviously he isn't ready to handle emergencies. The family is angry that their free ride is over. Tell them that you can't afford the risk involved in giving away rental time for free. So, yeah, what do you think?
I agree.
Alrighty.
I agree with what the commenters are saying.
Okay, that was an easy one. Let's try to do a little bit of a harder one.
Okay.
AITA, for throwing a tantrum because my child wasn't invited to a child-free wedding.
What?
And here's that POO mode again. What does that mean? POO mode r/AITA. What does it mean? Okay, so it says, according to cardetailingservice.de, a post on AITA uses the term poo mode. So the post is about asking one's wife and daughter to leave the house if they don't want to live with their son. What?
Huh?
What does that even mean? Okay, what is poo mode activated? Okay, this is a new flare. We will be playing a post with a high volume of rule violating comments that will restrict participation to only trusted community members. Okay, so apparently it means proctologist only orifices, which really threw me off, whatever that meant the last time I looked it up. But apparently I thought it meant something completely different, but apparently it does have something to do with AITA. And apparently it's just about that the post has a high volume of rule violating comments. So this one has a lot of rule violating comments.
Oh,
so
good to know.
Okay, this is now okay. My sister is being remarried, and she wants a very small wedding with only immediate family. Yesterday, we got her wedding invitation, and to my surprise, it said that the wedding is child-free, and my child isn't invited. And my child is 17. Going 18 soon. By the way, my child is the only one under 18 in our family, and the groom's family, so she's the only one being excluded. I called my sister and asked if she is F-King serious, and she said, I'm sorry, but we have decided we want a child-free wedding. I told her, just say what you want, my child-free wedding. and get over with it because this is exactly what you're doing. We got into an argument. She told me to stop throwing a tantrum, and my child doesn't need to be included in everything. I told her that we won't be attending her wedding then, and she called me a butthole for not supporting her. And then it was then changed to POO mode, which is proctologist only orifice. You can make your point without saying B word or bridezilla or other insults is what is written here. So I guess a lot of people were throwing those words around. So what do you think?
Clearly, she's only excluding the sister's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, technically she is a child.
Quote unquote child. A child-free wedding usually means no toddlers, no little kids that can go around and be messy and, cry during the ceremony and, generally overall just, make things a little bit more hectic with their childness. Not a 17-year-old girl who's already almost 18 and already knows enough to not, mess around at a wedding.
Yeah, when people say child-free wedding, they don't mean 17-year-olds.
Not at all.
Or 16-year-olds.
Usually or 15-year-olds.
Usually they mean probably 12 and under.
12 and under, the tweens to the toddlers to the babies, any kind of child that would get super bored and start running around or put their hands all over the food, that sort of thing. Kids being kids.
Kids being kids.
And some people don't want kids at their wedding, and it's understandable because kids are messy.
Yeah, child-free weddings are a thing, and I don't mind that because I have seen
We have been children at the weddings.
And I'm the one who did the running, and I also got the cake, and I threw it at the bride.
No, you didn't.
And then, what was it? So, this also kind of stings a little bit harder because she the only person apparently who is underage is OP's daughter. So they're really singling her out. Why? I guess she's
for what?
She's she thinks she's so perfect, being invited to everything. Well, guess what? She's not invited to my wedding, and I'll pretend that it's because it's a child-free wedding, and she's technically a child. So in your face. So yeah, I think this is really dumb. Of course, OP is definitely not the butthole here. So that's what I have to say. What do you think, Clara?
Absolutely not the butthole.
Absolutely not the butthole, and probably the bride she could still have her child-free wedding. Just maybe make an exception with this one person for 17, who's gonna be 18 soon. Okay, here's what the people have saying. Okay, the people defending the sister with her wedding / her rules are so infuriating. It's antisocial behavior, exclusionary, and just poopy. I'm proud of you for defending your daughter, OP. The people acting like she's not the person with feelings, an entire human being because she is 17, are entirely disgusting, and there's absolutely no justification for it. I wouldn't support my sister doing that either. This isn't some friend or an OP's daughter, isn't some auxiliary guest. She's a member of the family and the only one being excluded. You're definitely Nata. And then OP responds with, I'm convinced that Reddit hates kids. They are all acting like my daughter is a monster and she should be shunned because she, and then asterisk, checks notes asterisk, is a bit quiet.
Okay.
So she's not even a rowdy kid.
Yeah.
She's not even...
That's the kind of kid you want at your wedding. The kind that's not going to run around and scream and cry and, a bunch of things that kids do.
Yeah. And then another one says, Nata, I don't think this qualifies as a tantrum. I do have to ask, is there a reason your sister wouldn't want your kid at her wedding? Past behavior and everything? And then OP responds with, my kid is the quietest, most well-behaved kid in our family, though a lot of family members don't really like her because of how quiet she is. And then they responded with, I thought they were the only kid in your family. And then OP responds, the only one under 18. The other ones are not much older. They are around 18 to 21. So, yeah. They don't like her because she's quiet? That's not nice. That's really mean. Okay. Here's another one. So what I'm understanding, based on your comments, is that you are the maid of honor. Your daughter is a month shy of turning 18. A month shy? Come on.
A month?
She's a month away from turning 18, and she's like, oh, no, technically you're underage. Sorry. You're no child in my wedding. Right, Clara? Right, Clara?
Mm-hmm.
So, let me see. Other young people between the ages of 18 to 21 are attending. Those young people are all males, and your daughter is disliked for being too shy and quiet. Yeah, I do think you have a reason to feel insulted/excluded. I don't know if there's sexism involved, but it feels like it. I don't know why your daughter is quiet around her own family. Maybe there's a critical backstory that you aren't including. I also don't know why your daughter would alienate her own Mo, or M-O-H, I don't know what does that mean? M-O-H? Rather than make it easier for her to attend and enjoy the day. Seems like a lot of missing info, but I'm still going with Nata. You definitely have the right to refuse to attend the wedding. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's an update here from this guy. Edit. I notice I'm getting feedback from people saying maybe there's nothing more to the fact that she's just a quiet kid. I get that. I was a quiet kid too. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for being a quiet kid. It's just nature. That said, OP says the family doesn't seem to like her because she's quiet, which seems to be an extreme response. And based on all the other factors, I just feel like there are missing reasons here. Why are the boys okay to go to the wedding and not the girl? Why is being quiet a problem? Could being quiet be a symptom of a greater problem? That is, how the family has treated OP's daughter from the beginning. It just seems ... off. So what do you think? What do you think about that point?
Yeah, I agree. There's something going on here for sure.
Do you think the OP is withholding information?
It's possible. Of course, as always, anything is possible in these. None of it might be real. She could be telling the truth. She could be leaving out information. She could be lying completely.
Right.
Right. Let's say in this case, there is a high possibility that she is leaving things out, and that there is something going on with her daughter, in terms of the relationship with the sister.
I don't think so, though.
Probably not.
I think that's uncool of the sister to not want her niece to be there.
Yeah.
Just because, for whatever reason, and use it on the cause of child-free wedding, even though she's like a month away from being 18. Because that's not what child-free means. Okay, let's move on. AITA for telling my roommate's girlfriend she needs to manage her own period.
Okay.
It's good, right?
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. What do you think? Roommate's girlfriend. Not even his girlfriend. Roommate's girlfriend.
Okay.
So...
They're starting off strong.
Okay, I, 29 male, live in a house with 2 guys and a girl. A girl?
Girl. Oh, a woman.
Yeah. A woman!
A woman!
The girl, 22 female, and one of the guys, 30 male, are dating. That's an age gap.
Oh. Yeah.
I moved in the same week as her. I have great Pyrenees, who is, a Pyrenees, which is like a dog, I guess, who is well trained, except for the fact that he goes through the trash when nobody is home. I paid to buy a door that is installed in the kitchen, and now the last person to leave the house just has to close the door. Unfortunately, my dog has no interest in the bathroom garbage, so we thought. A few weeks into moving together, I came home one day and there were torn-up, used tampons spread all over the bathroom floor. The girl was at work, so I told her boyfriend, and we both agreed that the dog had probably gone through the trash. He cleaned it up and said he'd ask her to do a better job of wrapping them in toilet paper before she threw them away or something. The next day it happened again. Then everyone was home. The girlfriend called everybody into the living room and asked if we can make it the default to just keep the bathroom foreclosed so that this didn't happen. The other guys agreed, but I told her it was unfair of us to have to manage her period for her. She told me that my dog was the one making the mess, and I told her that if I wasn't for her leaving her blood in the trash, my dog wouldn't be interested in it at all. She said that us having to close the bathroom door wasn't any more of a burden than closing the kitchen door. But I told her that's different because all of us threw food in the kitchen garbage, but she was the only one throwing blood in the bathroom garbage.
God.
One time I woke up to a mess, and when I told her to clean it up, she said she didn't eat what she said it wasn't even hers because she wasn't on her period. It turns out that my girlfriend was on hers, and it was her tampon, so I cleaned it up myself. I'm not sexist.
Okay.
I'll clean things up when they're my responsibility, and I don't think it's fair for me to be inconvenienced by a girl I'm not even dating. Since the meeting, this has become a less frequent of an issue because her and the guys close the bathroom door. I still forget a lot of the time. If she sees the door open, she closes it, but she gets huffy about it. It still happens occasionally, but when it does, she cleans it up. But the works don't get home until late. Yesterday, there was another incident of me coming home to a dirty bathroom. I work PM and come home in the AM. She was still sleeping, so I went and blew up on her. I probably shouldn't have yelled, but I stand by my right to not be exposed to her biomatter. Last night, me and the other roommate could hear her crying and telling her boyfriend she wanted them to move because she hates living with me. I thought she was being dramatic. Our other roommate told me I was being a jerk.
Yeah.
And that it's not that hard to just keep the door closed. I just seriously don't think it's my fault to manage some random girl's period for her. AITA, what do you think?
Butthole.
Why, though?
Why?
Yeah, I want to show your work. Show your work.
Okay. Yeah. How hard is it to close a door? What do you mean,
I don't know.
What do you mean,
just
close it.
I was born without arms, Clara. Thank you.
You can still close a door without arms.
I was born without arms. I'm not born without arms.
Yeah.
I have arms.
Don't lie to the people, Nathaniel, for the bit.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly capable, perfectly easy. Whose dog was it that messed up the bathroom? His dog.
His dog, yes.
Would the bathroom have been messed up had his dog not come in? Would everybody have been perfectly happy and the blood would not have been spilled if the dog hadn't gone in and messed around with the bathroom? Everything would have been fine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, not I guess. I mean, I know.
You know.
Yeah. But I do know one thing. When ladies ask me to lower the toilet seat, I say, "No way, Jose. That's not my problem."
I'm leaving.
No, don't leave.
Okay. There's a thing called common courtesy.
Yep.
Not everyone is a man.
Yeah.
Not everyone is a woman.
Right.
Some people need the toilet seat down. Do you live with someone who needs the toilet seat down? Yes? Put the toilet seat down.
I was just kidding about the toilet seat. I always put the toilet seat down.
Yeah, no, you don't. I know that because literally last night I almost fell into the toilet because I wasn't looking and the seat wasn't down.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't expecting you to do that.
Okay. The thing is that when you are living with a woman, it doesn't matter. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Might not be your girlfriend. You might not be related to her, but she's there. You're living with her. Surprise! We get periods. There's blood. We do our best when we're living with someone who is perhaps a little bit more squeamish about it, or perhaps doesn't want to see it. We do our best to hide it away and pretend like it's not happening.
Yep.
And when things get in the way of that, like the dog coming in, messing up the trash can, spilling the tampons everywhere.
Because that is an issue, but you should close the door.
That is an issue. We have pets. I have my cats. I close the bathroom door because I know that they could go in and they could mess stuff up. Mm-hmm. If you have a pet and they're not trained enough to not mess around with stuff, close the door.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the issue is. I don't understand why you're being so stubborn about it.
Me? I didn't do anything.
No, I'm talking about OP.
Okay.
At this point, I'm talking directly to OP.
Okay, you hear that, OP?
I do not understand
Clara's coming after you.
Why you're being so stubborn about it. Just close the dang door.
I got another question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you like my stubby T-Rex arms?
No, take them out. Nobody can see that but me. I don't understand. Who is this for? For me, it can't be. I don't enjoy it.
It was cool. It was funny.
No.
Okay, so butthole.
Butthole.
I say definitely butthole. I think he's being a real jerk about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, close the door, will ya?" And then he was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter if I close the door or not." So here it is. Okay, here's see what the people at Reddit say. AITA, why should anyone manage your dog? None of them are dating you. You're the only one with a dog. If you didn't have a dog, then no one would give them gave to close the kitchen or bathroom door. You seem to think the kitchen door is everyone's responsibility because they all use the kitchen. But reality is that it is your responsibility as it's your dog making the mess and being the issue. You and you alone should be cleaning up after your dog every time it gets into things and makes a mess. You're so freaking entitled to make your animal everyone's burden. You should move Ken out and live alone with other people with pets. Yeah, you are a gross sexist butthole too. And then edit. You are the one leaving the bathroom door open and keeps doing so. If you scream like that, like me, like that, you would be out. Like, yep. I don't care how, I would get you out. That's how it is. AITA, dog trainer / behaviorist here. It is I, Caesar Milan himself. Right, Clara?
Yeah.
It's not Caesar Milan.
Okay.
Put the dog in a kennel if they cannot be properly supervised.
Yeah.
She is putting trash in a trash can.
Yeah.
Like she's supposed to.
In the bathroom trash can, where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, the dog is eating out of the trash can like it's not supposed to. You're the one forgetting to close the door. You're the one that owns the dog. You're the only one causing issues at the home. And guess who is at fault? That is true. He's blaming everyone.
He's blaming everyone but himself.
Yeah, I mean, you need it like...
Literally, everybody else is like, yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Yeah. And then the guy who owns the dog that is causing the issues is like, oh, I don't want to close the door because I can't be bothered to remember.
And then he's like, you're a yucky puke.
Your blood is on the floor. Disgusting.
Ooh, your uterine wall is shedding?
Ooh,
that's gross.
Gross. You're doing the thing that literally every biological woman does, every whatever.
You don't have to tiptoe around that, did you?
I know. Listen, I don't. Not all biological women do it either. As well, there are issues that can stop that from happening.
Yeah, like cats.
No, not like cats, but those are serious issues that we're not going to get into because I don't know enough about them.
AITA and sort of ... sort of ignorant when it comes to your dog. We cannot see through tissue. Roommate could literally wrap them up of an entire roll of TP. Dog can still smell it. The problem is not the roommate. The problem is your dog. Keeping your door closed is a very reasonable compromise. I guarantee the same poop would happen if you threw some yummy smelling food in your garbage can. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So there you go. There you go, OP. Hopefully you learn from this and close your door. It's not that hard. Just do that. Just do that and stop being a jerk to somebody else's girlfriend. Yep. That is not nice. In fact, it is the opposite of nice. It is not nice. Right, Clara?
Yep.
Okay. AITA for calling my wife a B word for lying about her cast and horoscope before we got married.
Oh boy. Okay.
What's a cast?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe like an arm cast or a leg cast or
it's
something?
spelled with an E at the end.
Oh, well then I don't know.
Let's give maybe it like
maybe it's like a witchy thing.
Let's see. Let's see. Definitely. Okay. Each of the hereditary classes of Hindu society designated by relative degrees of ritual purity or caste. Pollution.
Yep.
Yeah. And of social status. Yeah. It is a system of dividing society into hereditary classes. So, yeah.
Yep. Yep, I'm familiar.
Okay, so this is like a Hindu family, like a Hindu couple.
Yep.
Okay. Both of us are permanent residents of the good old U.S. of A. God bless America.
Stop it.
Oh. I am a Hindu, and so is my wife. And for those who claim this is just religious/superstitious nonsense, I have the right to practice my faith, which is fair.
Correct.
My wife, Parvati, and I have been married for a few weeks, and it was an arranged marriage. We were suggested by a mutual friend about her. He said that she's of the same caste as I am. I confirmed this with Parvati/her family as well. Our horoscopes seemed to match, and the checking, quote unquote, was done by the friend. We asked Parvati/her family about her horoscope, and they said that hers was the same that we're looking for. Yesterday, I talked to a relative of hers I met. He expressed surprise that I'd married her as she was just of a lower caste, and I was shocked. I managed to learn about how she lied about it, and even her horoscope. I accosted her about it, and she admitted that she'd lied. But I am being discriminatory/bigoted towards her. Her family said the same thing, and that it doesn't matter. That resulted in a really huge argument, and she began to talk about how I am being a big deal over nothing, etc. And I called her an effing B word. And she then talked about how I am sexist, castious, etc. She said that I am prejudiced towards her because she's of a lower caste, and that I am a huge bigot, etc. Neither of us are talking to each other now. AITA.
You know, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Hindu faith. I don't know how big of a deal this really is for them, for their relationship. I don't know if I personally feel comfortable offering an opinion on something that I don't completely understand.
It seems to me, since this was an arranged marriage,
yes.
I don't know how long they'd known each other before, and they're definitely not.
I don't know enough about arranged marriages. I know it can vary. Maybe sometimes, like, you might, every now and then, you might meet each other for like a month or something, or maybe it's just like one of those, arranged marriage, let's go right away.
Yeah.
And we don't really know each other very well. I don't know.
I can say with a reasonable degree, and I feel comfortable saying this, that he reacted in a buttholy way.
Probably, yeah.
By calling her names, I think that's not cool.
Name calling is definitely a butthole thing to do.
Yeah. So, if I were to have to give a rating, I would definitely say butthole based on the way this guy reacted.
If I were to take away all of the stuff that I don't understand, if I decide to separate the whole religion from just the way that he's acting, I would also probably say butthole.
Okay. So, let's see what the people of Reddit have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Quotes. I have the right to practice my faith. Congrats on your beliefs. In response. In quotes. I called her an effing B word. AITA. And then quotes. She then talked about how I am sexist, castious, etc. She said how prejudiced I am towards her. And then he wrote, she's right, and you are. Thanks for posting. And then then I think he responded, but then he got deleted. And so, because it got negative 330 downvotes. Okay. Here's another Hindu in the comments. I'm Hindu. I practice my faith, and my practice of faith does not involve casteism. I can't believe you're a U.S. citizen and your thinking is more backward/hopeless than people living here in India themselves. This is this guy saying it. I'm not saying that.
Yep.
I love the people of India.
Yep.
Even India has taken measures to banish caste basis discrimination, and here you are, cursing at your wife for barely a few weeks for just being of a lower caste, which isn't even her fault. Being mad at or lying to you may be understandable, but you're mad because she's of a lower caste. I still can't wrap my head around this. Clearly, you're the butthole. We Indians/Hindus don't claim him. So we have another Hindu saying he's the butthole.
Yep.
So according to this guy...
That's good. That's good information to it's good to have that opinion, I think.
So according to this guy, the whole concept of caste and things and all that kind of stuff is a bit of an outdated. way of thinking.
I had assumed so, but I didn't want to... I don't want to comment on anything that I don't, fully understand.
Yeah. But this Hindu Redditor did, say it. So, AITA. The moment your religion/superstitious nonsense discriminates against another human beings, you can no longer claim a right of not being a butthole for exercising it. Discrimination based on caste is utter BS. And then he said how sexist, casteist, etc., and prejudice towards her, and he says, and she is correct. So there it is. Definitely a butthole. Maybe get your don't be prejudiced. How's that?
Yep, absolutely.
And maybe treat your wife with respect. Right, Clara? Even if you didn't, you married her out of obligation.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about respect.
Yes, even after what? Even if now that I think about it, maybe he's just upset that he feels like the wool has been put over his eyes, because that's the only reason why he married her.
That's probably.
But you shouldn't be. Cursing at her, though.
I would be upset over being lied to.
Because that's the only reason why he married this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that.
That would be lying. That would be being married under false pretenses, which is illegal.
Yeah, but. It wasn't really. That's not a cool thing to say. To call her names and curse.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not. Name calling is never a nice thing to do.
And I say, butthole. Butthole. So okay, AITA for going to my birthday dinner without my husband when he wasn't already ready on time. Okay, what do you think?
Okay.
It was my 40th anniversary a few days ago.
Interesting.
And we had a reservation for a table at a nice restaurant at 7 p.m. It takes about 20 minutes to drive to the restaurant, so I planned to leave the house at 6:30 p.m. to build time for traffic and picking up my father. My husband, 43 male, had decided to do a bit of work on his car about a half an hour before we were supposed to leave. At 6:30, when the kids and I were waiting by the door, he was still doing it. He hadn't changed and hadn't showered. I told him to quickly get ready, but it got to 5:60 and he wasn't ready yet, so I decided to leave without him. He has a habit of always running late when we go out, and he is always the last one to be ready. Normally, I can tolerate it since it only sets things back by 10 minutes at the most, but my birthday dinner was important to me, and I had been looking forward to it for weeks. Making us wait for 20 minutes was taking the... What does that mean?
I know that term. Taking.
So this is an American family.
But to laugh at someone and make them seem silly in a funny or unkind way.
So is that what country is that from? Because it doesn't seem like an American
Well,
saying.
Okay. Well, according to this, the definition is an offensive term for a person of Irish descent.
That's not nice. Are we allowed to say that?
I don't know. It's listed under ethnic slur.
That's not good.
Okay, so here's another thing. There's take the mickey, which may be an abbreviated form of the Cockney rhyming slang take the mickey bliss, a euphemism for take the piss.
No, don't piss. So, okay, so that makes more sense. So it's a British term, or a Cockney term, or English term.
Yes.
Okay, so this is an English family. Okay. So I yelled out that we were leaving and left because I didn't want to lose the table since we would have arrived at 7:20. I called the restaurant to let them know we would be late, and we luckily still had our table. But my husband didn't show up to the restaurant, and when we got home, he was mad at me. I told him that I was tired of him not respecting my time and always making people wait for him, and that he could have made his own way to the restaurant. My father agreed with my decision to leave without him, but my kids were a little upset that he wasn't there to have dinner with us. So, AITA. What do you think?
I don't know. She was gonna lose the reservation.
I think...
What do you think? Let me hear your opinion on this.
I think probably was a good idea to leave. And it was like Mr. Workaholic drinking that workahol.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing all this thing, and he just expects the world to wait for him. And like, dude, this is your wife's 40th. That's the big 4-0. You can't like wait on the workahol.
That's a big birthday.
You can't just like wait on that and just like prioritize this thing. The world. Like,
think about.
You can't just work all the time. The world's gonna pass you by if you do that. So I think this should be a big lesson he should take this as a lesson that work shouldn't be everything, and there are more important things than work, like your wife's 40th.
There is a lot of time in the day to do work.
Yeah.
You have moments where you can stop working and you can be with your family.
And I think your wife's big 4-0 is one of them.
And that's a really big, and especially that's a really big birthday. And for a lot of people, that's like an existential dread kind of birthday,
I have a existential dread, right, Kat? So like, I think this person was like, it sounds like he's pulled this stuff before.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not gonna do that this time because we have a reservation. We're gonna lose it. So, and I told him already, gotta leave at 6:30, but he didn't do it. Just like chugging on that workahol at the work bar, and that's that. So I say definitely not the butthole. She's not the butthole. She is totally within her right to go enjoy her birthday dinner, and it's his fault for not doing it. And he could have come. He could have went afterwards.
He could have.
If he really wanted to.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He decided to be all like.
He started to be all butthurt about it.
Yeah. Nata, you were already late when you left. If you waited any longer, you wouldn't have a table and thus no birthday party. Then, when you got home, you should have torn him a new one for deliberately trying to sabotage your birthday party. Put him on the defensive where he should be for his behavior. Really, though, when your husband decided to do some work on his car, you should have said, "No, you're not doing that. You're going upstairs and getting ready to leave with us. This is a totally predictable problem. In general, you should stop tolerating his lateness. When you do that, it gets worse, not better. AITA at 20 hours. Further information from OP's later comments." Okay, ... Husband used to be on time. Hope he was a Sam, whatever that means. And this started when she went back to work. Husband is still never late to work or to any of his own events. My conclusion, this behavior was not related to ADHD or anything similar. His lateness is deliberate enemy action. So this person said he's doing it on purpose. What do you think?
Yeah, he's totally doing that on purpose.
You think he's being late on purpose?
He's definitely late this time on purpose. I don't know about the other times.
But he says he's never late to his own stuff, which is kind
well,
of bad.
then he's doing it on purpose.
Okay.
He's not respecting her time,
Yeah,
just like she
cool.
said.
So, yeah, here's another one, in quotes. My husband, 30 male, had decided to do a bit of work on his car for about half... Oh, it's not even work. It's just like work on his car?
Just work on his car?
It's not even like work for his job.
I thought that this was, salary man trying to earn money for his family. He's just working on his car?
Should your car be working already?
Well, maybe it's one of those old vintage cars that you have to spend years working on, and you're like, oh, my baby, my child, my car. And then you decide to miss your wife's 40th birthday.
Yeah, because you got to because the car is my wife.
You're busy working on your because my car is my wife.
Like he's like Mr. Han and the Karate Kid. He's like I every year I fix the car. Every year I smash it again. And I build the car again.
Just to smash it. Yeah. My wife, my son.
So we were arguing and I lost control. I don't even remember what we were arguing about. It better be important.
I hope it wasn't important. Oh!
That made me sad.
Don't be sad.
I'm ready to look forward to the new Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio.
Oh, okay.
Coming out soon, I hope.
Okay.
So my husband, classic. Why help the kids ready when you can putter outside? And then in quotes, me, period. I told him I was tired of him not respecting my time and always making people wait for him, and that he could have made his own way to the restaurant. And then in response, if he wanted to, he could have. The kids shouldn't be raised in a world where dad is allowed to ruin your birthday plans because he decided to work on his car. Nata.
Nata, absolutely.
Okay. Nata, tell him clearly from now on you're going to tell him when you plan to leave, and you don't care what he's doing at that point. Because if he wasn't ready to leave, you are leaving without him. And then do exactly that. If he gets upset, tell him that he was well aware of what was going to happen, and the next time the two of you plan to go anywhere, tell him exactly when he needs to be ready by, and that you are going to leave at that time, and then whether he's ready or not, leave. After a few experiences like that, he is sure to catch on, and that you mean what you say. By the way, how does it work when he has an important event to go to? Is he somehow magically able to figure out how to get out of the door on time when it's an important when it's an event that's important to him, which they established that it is, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that's everything. I don't think she's the butthole. I think she made the right choice.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good on you for sticking to your guns. It's sad that the kids have to eat without their dad.
Yeah,
stinks. But it's his fault.
That is what it is.
It's his fault. So, next going up. AITA, for telling my daughter if she pays for her sister's college, I would stop favoring her with my money, quote unquote.
Interesting sentence.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. I will try to make this as clear as possible. My mother had a fund that was supposed to be for both of the grandchildren. She told me multiple times it was for both of the kids. She also informed the girls that they have the money. She passed away unexpectedly. My oldest name? What? My oldest name? Shelley. It is my oldest name. It was Shelley, Clara. I have many names, and my oldest name was Shelley. Are you going to call me Shelley, Clara?
No, I'm not going to call you Shelley.
Call me Shelley. Okay, so it was the only one with the fund, and it is legally hers. She didn't share it with her sister, who is Grace, and she has a huge head start in life with it. Due to this money, she has been able to go to college debt-free and is going to buy a house soon. My husband and I have been scrambling to give as much money as possible to Grace since she really got screwed over. Even with all our help, she still needs to take out student loans. Grace is working while in college, and she found a student job that gives free housing. The issue is that she needs a car for it. So my husband and I were going to buy her a car, since turning down this job will result in a ton of extra debt for her. Shelley found out about us getting the car and is peeved. She's upset with us favoring Grace and that she never got a car from us. I pointed out she doesn't need help financially at all. We argued for a while and that I had enough. I told her that if she pays for her sister's college, then I will stop favoring her sister with my money. She called me a jerk and isn't responding. Okay. What do you think, Clara?
I'm sorry. What's the situation again?
Oh my god.
The grandmother gave them both money?
It looks like she only gave one of them.
She only gave one of them money, but she said that she had money for both of them.
My oldest, yeah. She was the only one on the fund, so it was only for her. She told me multiple times. She was told that it was for both of them.
Yeah.
But I guess somebody did a little oopsie daisy and only wrote one of their names.
Maybe it was a situation where she had meant to add both, but she died before.
Because she did say she passed away unexpectedly.
Yeah, so she must have passed away before adding the other one to the fund.
Yeah.
And now one of them is trying to hoard the money? Or
yeah, it looks like she's hoarding the money, and because of that, she's living on Easy Street. She's paying. Wow. She paid all of her tuition. She's bought a house with the money. She's debt free, but her sister is struggling financially. She has to pay for college, take out student loans to pay for her college. She can't afford a house, and she needs to take a job at the campus to to get free housing, and in order for her to get this job, she needs a car. So her parents are buying her a car so she can get to her work.
Yeah.
And their sister, Shelly, is upset that they didn't buy her a car. So that's the situation.
So the one that has the money is upset about not being bought a car?
Yeah. I mean, she could buy her own car.
Buy your own car, girl.
Since you got
if you're gonna keep all of that money,
if you got all that money,
if you're gonna keep all of that money for yourself, buy your own car.
It sounds like she has the dragon sickness.
Probably.
You think she has the dragon sickness?
I don't know what that means. I'll be honest with you. Is it? The hoarding. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, and then so.
What is the point of wealth if you do not use it?
What I found very shocking, because she is using it, but she's not using it for a car for some reason.
She's not using it for a car for some reason. She paid off her tuition.
She paid for her college, like, come in there to the college enrollment office and be like, smack down the cash.
Fool forever.
Here, like, it's $50,000. Bam!
Per semester. Boom!
Bam! $50,000. $100 bands, boy. So that's pretty much what she's doing. And what I found very shocking is that she isn't sharing any of the money with her sister. She didn't even decide to split the money with her sister.
Like you would think.
Because apparently it was intended to be for both of them.
It was meant to be.
But little Shelly here is like, it's all mine.
It's all mine. My name is the one who's on there, not yours, which means it is for me and me alone.
And that's why I had to kill my grandmother. I mean...
Nathaniel, let's not, even for the sake of a bit, let's not do any wild accusations here.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm sure she died naturally.
Fingers crossed.
But she died unexpectedly. But yeah, like, I think it is really uncool of your daughter to not share the wealth.
To not share the wealth, exactly.
And especially living on Easy Street.
Yeah, do the right thing and give your sister the half that she was meant to have.
Mm-hmm.
But nope.
And being all butthurt over, like, my parents
bought my sister who doesn't have any money a car.
And it's not for fun.
Me? It's not for fun. It's for getting to college.
Well, getting to her college work. Or work study or whatever.
Her work study.
And so she could be able to have a house.
So she could be able to have
free housing.
Live places.
Because if she didn't take that job, she would have more debt. Which Shelly's not gonna pay for because her money's too valuable for that. She's like, what is it? How much? $500,000 for a house? Bam! Put it like $50 bands, $100 bands. So yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see what definitely not the butthole. Parents are being parents.
Parents are being parents.
Shelly's probably a butthole because she's like, I'm not sharing any of my money. So Nata, your older daughter was very selfish to not split the money, knowing it was what her grandmother wanted. It's the one thing to keep an inheritance your family members fully intended to be just for you without sharing. But this feels very wrong. I think that at least until you have given half that amount to your younger daughter, it is entirely fair. I would be pretty disappointed in her and would be hard to forgive, to be honest. I can't imagine this isn't going to destroy a lot of relationships in the family. Yeah, money will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We will never... Okay, OP says, and this is actually how much money she actually was given. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Apparently Shelly was given about $500,000.
Share with your sister.
Yeah, I know. And she said that half the amount would be around $250,000, $250,000. And then she said we will never be able to get to give Grace half the amount. It would be around like $250,000. It won't happen. Maybe when we die, but we probably have 40 years left for us since we had our kids young. So yeah. little big scissors rocking around here with $500,000? With $500,000, Clara?
With $500,000?
Whoo! That's a fat stack. Like, geez Louise, you can't share? You can't give your sister half, which is $250,000, which is still a lot?
Still a lot.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Another person says, info! Is this the first time a serious discussion of the inheritance split came up? Was Shelley already an adult when the inheritance ope happened? Have they never noticed this imbalance before? Did you never tell her that you were extremely upset with her taking the money for herself before? It seems extremely bizarre to me that a car, and probably not an expensive one, appears to be the inciting incident here and not years of disparity in college experience or any other payments you've had to make for Grace. Okay, so here's OP response to that with, we have discussed it multiple times. She was 17 when we got her inheritance. It had a block, so I couldn't touch it, which was fine. It was supposed to be for the girls. We thought she would just be kind and split it with her sister. She didn't, and basically effed up her relationship with the family. As she puts it, it's hers legally, and I don't need to share. Our other opinion would be to fight her claim, but we didn't have the money for that. But guess who did have the money for that? She knows we all disapprove of her choice with it, especially since she knows Grandma wanted it shared. That's not nice. That's not cool.
It's not.
How can you be there like shipping Mai Tais, buying houses?
It's definitely a bit selfish.
Yeah, like Mai Tais, buying houses.
There's a point where it's like, yeah, okay, you can be selfish. That's fine. But like when it comes to things like this, I think that you need to be a bigger person, a better person. Mm-hmm. Share with your family.
Yeah, and I think so it looks like the reason why it wasn't given to Grace, was because she was 17.
Oh, she's too young, so she couldn't even.
Yeah. So their parents was kind of going off with a good face, but the grandma said it was for both of them.
But they were trusting that the sister would
give half the money.
The half that was meant for her.
Yeah.
Wow.
But according to Shelley, she was like, it's all mine. It's all mine now. So, and she didn't want to give it up, which I think is a bit uncool when you're living in the fast lane and your sister is piling on debt and you don't want to lift a finger to help.
Yep.
And like living in a house and you're buying a house when she can barely make rent, which isn't cool. So then your parents have to help her, and you have cooling around with a cool $500,000. You can't even give half of that. Give $250,000, still a lot. That's not nice. I definitely say not the butthole. So yeah, not cool. Not cool at all. All right, last one. Ready? Last one.
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, this is a long one. I don't want to read that one. Okay. AITA for not complimenting my wife so she won't become vain.
Okay.
Context. My wife, 29 male, and I, 31 male, have been together for 10 years. We share 3 children, 9, 7, 5. My wife was never someone who really dressed up or put too much thought into her looks. She's always been beautiful, but never did much to highlight it until recently. She went through this crisis of feeling like she didn't have a personality outside of being a mom. Something like that. So for the last 2 years, she's started traveling more, joining different groups, dressing really nicely, wearing makeup. I never realized how much of a difference it would make, but people treat her completely different. She is constantly getting complimented. I told that she should be in magazines. She'll come home and happily tell me about the random stranger who was so nice to her. She randomly gets gifts. Lady at her job bought her a book series she was interested in. She gets hit on when we go out. All these dudes want to buy her drinks. Even my family has noticed. And all of a sudden, it seems like they're wondering how I ended up with her. Honestly, it's a bit overwhelming for me and something I'm just not used to. This has become kind of annoying. Anyways, she was going out with friends, and she asked me how I looked, and I just said, fine. She seemed disappointed with this. My sister was over and commented that I should hype her up. I said, why should I when the world already does? And that I don't want her thinking too highly of herself and becoming more vain. My sister looked shocked and said that's F up. Said that's low-key abusive, quote-unquote, and I'm a butthole. I think she's overthinking it, but I decided to get outside opinions, so AITA. So I decided to ask the people of Reddit. What should I do?
The people of Reddit, lead me to the answer.
And the answer is... maybe don't be so butthurt about it.
Butthole.
And maybe, like, say your wife looks good.
Yeah. That's honestly, that is textbook abusive behavior.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Why is he so annoyed that his wife is trying to pay more attention to her looks, and then she's like, you're being vain?
Probably because he's insecure about the fact that all of a sudden she's looking really good, and now maybe she might start thinking, oh, that she's better than me or something, and
I think
she might deserve better than me or something like that. I don't know what goes through people's heads like this.
It sounds like he is really insecure, because like now that. Like all these people are hitting on her, and maybe she'll think that I'm not good enough for her, and that kind of stuff, which is very understandable. But he's going about this the wrong way, and I think you should probably definitely talk to her wife about it.
People do not understand the importance of open communication. You need to be able to talk to your partner about these kinds of insecurities.
Okay, you be Steve, and I'll be
I'm
Stevina.
And you're Stevina, my wife, who is becoming so much more beautiful because she's paying more attention to herself.
Hello.
Are we trying to do a good situation here or a bad situation?
Tell them like good situation. Well, let's start with the bad, like what you're not supposed to do.
This is what you shouldn't do. Okay, go.
Oh, hello.
You look disgusting! Stop grooming yourself, you pig!
Why does he sound like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
How dare you try to look more beautiful, you vain woman!
Get thy sinning hands away, Jezebel.
Ah!
Okay, let's do what you're supposed to do.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Hello, how do I look?
You look gorgeous, my beautiful wife, but please, I must speak to you of something.
Why does he talk like that? Like
I don't know!
Okay. Yes.
I fear that you are growing too beautiful, and that soon you might grow tired and bored of me, because all of these handsome men are paying compliments to you.
I think we should get a divorce.
No!
No, that's not
it.
That's not what would happen.
That's not it.
That's not what would happen. That's not what she would not say that. She'll probably respect you a lot more, and you'll be a lot happier in your relationship if you just communicate that you're feeling insecure about it, and then like, oh, people are asking me how I even ended up with you about it, and now I'm asking myself, how did I end up with you, and now I feel bad. I don't deserve you.
It's all insecurity towards himself that he is projecting onto her.
Yeah. Which is, it's normal and natural to feel those things, but you gotta not go about them in the way you're going about them, because that would be bad. That's bad. You gotta talk about it. So, yeah, definitely talk about it. I think he is the butthole in that instance, but it's not too late. You can still save this marriage by just talking to your wife. Okay, let's see what the people have to say.
Yes.
AITA. Dude, if your wife doesn't think or know or hear you express that you think she's beautiful, then what's going to stop her from leaving you for someone who does tell her that she's beautiful or treats her wrongfully? That's very true. Your wife is beautiful, and you thought she was great even without all the makeup and the new style and new interests. Now she has all those things, and what do you feel left behind? Do you feel like any interest in her new interests travel at all with her? ? What are you doing to make sure your wife feels seen? Or are you just bitter that she's finally realizing she's beautiful and interesting and worthy of all this friendship and kindness from others, and wondering where you stand in all this? I think she's awesome for taking charge of her life, herself and her life. She didn't feel like she was seen or acknowledged as anything other than mom. And did you do anything to make her feel like the loved, beautiful wife that she is? No! And she endeavored to change that, and bearing beautiful fruit. Your wife is awesome, and you are nawesome. That means not awesome. Which I agree. If you don't say that she's beautiful, she'll be like, first person who says she's beautiful, she'll go on that. That's not. So like I said, definitely talk to her about it. Okay, here's another one. That's a great strategy. Treat her as if she doesn't matter and you don't see her as attractive, so she can constantly be reminded that there are other people out there who do care about her and do find her attractive. Then come back in a year or so and let us know how it works out. In the meantime, think about how you want your custody arrangements to work. AITA, of course. What do you think?
I think that this could still be salvageable.
I think so. As long as he doesn't keep with this whole, like, I gotta take her down a peg type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Just talk it out. It's okay to be insecure when you're not hurting other people and that you are hurting people right now, which isn't cool. You're still salvageable. Okay. AITA, my God, ye gods! Your wife is finding herself investing time in herself to feel good. You don't like this because she's getting outside validation? Wow, you're not supportive. Your wife is beautiful. Out of everyone in the world, you should be the one telling her that every day. You should be falling at her feet, telling her how much you love her, and that you're happy she's becoming happier and finding more fulfillment. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Go down this path, and your wife will realize she can do better than a man who needs to keep his wife down so she doesn't feel too beautiful, which is true. There's still time left. You can still save this username, vain wife throwaway. You can still salvage this, Clara.
Yeah, you can. It's possible.
Do you think vain wife throwaway can salvage this?
Well, if he named his did he name it? Did he name his account Vain Wife Throwaway?
Yeah, he named his account Vain Wife Throwaway.
Well, if he named his account Vain Wife Throwaway, then I'm a little less certain about him being able to salvage it.
Vain Wife Throwaway, you can still survive this.
Just talk to your wife. Open communication.
Talk to your wife. She will understand. Also, don't bring her down. That's not good. Do everything you think you should do the opposite. Right, Clara? So, yeah, those are today's buttholes and not buttholes. Who do you think was the biggest butthole?
In my opinion, I think that the biggest butthole is the guy who wouldn't close the freaking door to the bathroom.
I think it is probably close the door. He's up there with prejudiced bigot guy.
Yeah.
Who is like, you're not of a higher caste. How dare you? But yeah, yeah, that's it for today, this weekend. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I have been Clara Avila.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of Wacky Talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.